I just watched a video that said, once a child has become an adult, parents no longer get to be the parent that they want to be to their child. They must be the parent that their child wants them to be to them. So let's talk about it. Most children are going no contact with their parents today for the simple fact that a lot of parents to gaslight their children into forgetting about how they were treated as a child. The podcast I just watched just said what was a regular Tuesday for you ended up being a day that I can never forget as a young adult. And it's the same day that I got to go to a therapist and speak about just to heal from. So what wasn't big to you because that was normal in your parenting routine became a trauma for me that I have to heal from as old. So simply put in my words, in today's time, the relationship has gone no contact. It's just the climax to a story of a narrative that parents created. Because again, remember, for some children, you were never allowed to speak up and to hold adults accountable for the things that they did wrong because that was deemed disrespectful. So you grew up to navigate through life being walked over, being mistreated, and being abused because those are the same patterns and the same things that were happening to you as a child. Just by people who had no accountability. Let me know what y'all think.
I mean, hey man, sis speaking. I will say that this is primarily hitting on a lot of your sisters in the Black community, pretty much single mothers, dealing with a lot of your single mothers in the Black community. Why do I say that? Because you really not going to find many fathers. Let's just be honest here. You're not going to find many fathers going out their way, destroying their relationship that they have with their children, right? With their daughter or with their son. Now, some women may point at the fact that a lot of your men constantly go out, constantly work, and there's times, man, where men have to sacrifice a lot of their time being at work so they can provide for the household. It is up to that mother to go ahead and let the kids know that has to provide, point blank period. That has to provide, point blank period. But a lot of your women will say, men destroy their relationships, men destroy their marriages men destroy their families by constantly working, right? And once again, it's just sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to put forth? Because if a man can't even sacrifice, why would you even want to deal with that guy? But that does not mean, because once again, women try to weaponize that and say that men don't take care of their family, that men don't care about their wives. That's cap. Right, that's just cap. You just have to sacrifice a part of your life, man, to be able to have the family that you want to have. And that might be sacrificing a few years, but to weaponize that is wild. It's wild. But what you're starting to see is a lot of your single mothers, once again, fighting for custody, having full custody, and they're molding these children the way they want to mold them. So this is where you're having a lot of guys who are being raised by single mothers who are very feminine. You got a lot of guys who are constantly in the street, very emotional. Pretty much the same guys that Ace metaphor and that a lot of these women love to talk about, to try to use so they can use to pretty much build up their little audience, to pander towards women. They want to talk about these guys. You don't want to deal with these guys. You don't want to deal with these guys, which is true. But at the end of the day, these are the same guys that these mothers are raising. And that is the whole issue here. And what you're going to see is a lot of young boys and a lot of girls saying, damn, man, you took away really from a lot of your boys, because a lot of your boys start to see it when they get older. Like you really took the soul out of me by keeping my father away from me. And now that I'm able to learn everything from him, now that I'm able to talk to him, he's giving me game. He's telling me everything. And you took that away from me as a child. And you're the one that try to sit here and try to dictate what I can feel or what relationship I can have with my father. That's BS. I mean, you even have the shot, man, where I understand it's a show, but this is what little boys and little girls go through every single day in your Black community with their sisterhood, right? With a lot of your single mothers, they deal with this type of stuff. This is how they feel.
Bro, we really about to sit up here and act like everything's fine? Like she ain't fuck up our whole childhood?
Past is the past, Trick. You can't keep blaming me for everything.
You had kids with no intention of raising them.
But I did the best I could.
Ain't we all still standing? Right. Plus, you ain't perfect either.
Bro, I had to raise myself and you because she was too sick to do it.
Boy, it's time to get over that shit.
You don't tell me how to grieve.
What you grieving?
The life I could have had.
My whole childhood you talking about yourself, bro.
Right.
And you don't give a
It's not my fault.
I don't care.
You're not going to fault me for that. And you're
Bro,
not
you
going to
still
tell me
talking
that I
about
was robbed at that
yourself.
point.
Why? Why are you talking about yourself, bro?
Because you think you're being selfish right now.
How?
Because you're screaming at me. You should respect me.
And these people end up growing up to resent them. They grow up to resent them because they're saying, dang, you really stripped something from me, man, that I could have had. But because you were so vengeful and you were kept out and you took my father to court saying that, hey, well, you know, this is for the benefit of the child. You know, everything you did to manipulate this man, you said it was a benefit of me. When it really wasn't a benefit of the child. It was just you wanted to benefit yourself. You wanted to make yourself feel good that you have the power, that you have the control over this man when you really don't. But hey, because you got to sit over here and you got to go to the courts to gain that power, which is sadly BS. I mean, here's another example where you're going to have a mother who is teaching their daughter wrong. And once she gets older, she's going to say, damn, why did you give me this type of advice? I really wish you just had the mindset to be able to tell me how to become a better woman. Because when it comes down to a lot of these sisters, when they get older, they're going to be resenting their mothers, because a lot of this behavior that you're seeing from a lot of these women today, from the 20s all the way up to the 30s, came from their mothers. Right? They learn that stuff from their mothers. So now they bringing that shit all through life. Men got to deal with that shit every day, and they're in the delusion, thinking that, hey, yeah, this is the right way to live. And you're thinking this way throughout your whole life. Once you hit 30s and the 40s, men ain't gonna want to really deal with that. And now you're shit out of luck. And once again, we have a culture of women who hate accountability. So they're gonna sit here and they're gonna be looking at their mother, right? When they get older, and they're gonna say, well, damn, why did you put me in this position? Why could you not have taught me a little bit better? And they will always point it back to the mother. They will always point it back to, well, I never had a father in the household. I wonder why.
I don't feel comfortable with giving it away for free.
You shouldn't give it away for free. You ain't catering it for free. You ain't raising it for free. This thing costs. Massengill, soap, Vagisil. No, this thing costs. And you just gonna give it to somebody for free? It don't necessarily have to be monetary, but respect, dinner, open up the door, trips, movies, pay some rent. I don't know, change the oil. Hell, go give me a down payment on a car.
Nowadays, even if it's monetary, oh, you a prostitute.
No, that ain't no prostitute. That's you knowing your worth. Give me a down payment on a car. I need a new car. I need something. My rent need to be paid. I'd like to buy me a house. Can you put in on that? Yeah, I don't know. Donate some better favors than a hard. No, that's all you got to offer. Every other man over here got that same thing. What makes yours so special that I got to give me up for free?
Hello.
That's bad advice from a mother, people. That's bad advice from a mother. You can't. You want a man before a man can even hit your box. Your box is valuable. Every woman got a vagina. Let's just be honest here. But your box is so valuable that a man, when you giving it up to a man, he got to put down a down payment on a car. He got to buy you a car. He got to buy you a house. You got to pay your rent. That's ridiculous, and that's what you're seeing today from a lot of your women. And men are like, man, no, time out, man. Y'all women need to lower your standards. This is where all your high standards. This is where all your standards come from. This is where all your high standards from women come from, because you have mothers like this. You're putting your daughter in an situation where she's not going to be able to get the man that she truly wants, because she just have such high standards because of her mother. Now, once again, you're still an adult and you can get out of that phase. You can think of something better, but a lot of you women don't want to. I mean, look at these comments. Somebody says, women preach about all this a man should be doing for their daughter, but teach their sons the complete opposite. Let's talk about it. Then somebody else says, it doesn't have to be monetary. Then starts to name everything that costs. Then somebody else says, she named all the things that cost except respect. This is where the message is coming from. Then somebody says, any man that disagrees is suspect, right? Well, I guess I'm suspect. Then somebody else says, she did not lie. Men who don't understand this shouldn't even be thinking about it. If you don't respect her, don't even think about it. Simple as that. So once again, the respect comes, your respect comes from us constantly giving you something. That's us showing you respect. Okay, well, I'm gonna show her some respect by giving her something, and I barely even know this chick, or we already went on the first date, or I already had sex with her one time. Okay, just because I bust you one time, don't mean you deserve money, so I can put down on a car payment. You don't deserve no money for me to sit over here and pay for your rent. That's BS. That's BS. That is BS. That means if it's that valuable, then I should be able to get it whenever I want to. If I'm sitting over here putting forth all of this money and all of this effort into a chick that I barely even know. So then somebody says, baby, y'all talking about the mother, but my daddy and uncle told me the same thing. Don't let a man leave you with a wet ass and a empty pocketbook, right? Now, more than likely, your dad is a pookie. Now, I've already checked the page, right? I've already checked the page. She has no man. Has no man. Your father is setting you up. Your father is setting you up. You probably have an uncle. You probably have a pookie for an uncle and a damn father. Because no man is going to respect a woman who is saying, "Hey, well, listen, self-respect is you sitting over here, man, giving me something, right? Paying for my car, paying for my rent. That's BS. No, it's not. No, it's not. Me showing you some respect is taking you out to this coffee date, and I get to know you. That's showing some damn respect. What are you bringing to the table? Nothing. Once again, nothing. She never said what a woman should bring to the table. Ridiculous. But once again, they can tell you what they expect from you. Then somebody else says, I wish someone had explained this to me when I was younger. I mean, once again, all of these sisters are terrible. Like I said, I just checked this sister's page. I am Royalty 89. Single, got no man. Look at the position that you're in. Look at the position that your father put you in. So then somebody else says, when a man doesn't let lust power him, her argument is valueless. She said nothing about values or character while she's talking. I bet she has bum baby daddies. Yes, Pookies and Ray Rays. Pookies and Ray Rays in my opinion. But hey, that's just me. Do me who's favorite, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down below. What do y'all think?